January 14th. I did it! Whole photo shoot with my car! I can't drag this out any longer. Now I'm really done with it. I still need to put all the little doohickeys back on, but my car is done. It's done on the outside, done on the inside, and I have thumbnail pictures to choose from for when the video is done too. My next move in the studio, before putting everything from the house back in, is to update my lights. But I don't just want to talk about what I'm going to do. Here's what I did do. To plan this little shoot, I just went on Pinterest for a couple inspiring angles, then I made a note page of ones I wanted to either recreate or spin off of. I spent an hour taking all of my clothes off their hangers to find the right fit. Then another hour recreating a 2007 Megan Fox makeup look. Makeup was different then, different eyeshadow, blush was lower, and the whole face was kinda dewy rather than highlighted cheekbones. After I got all ready, we went to a big parking lot and tried to park kinda tucked behind some bushes, but that didn't work. We got one honk and one FedEx truck that parked nearby and watched us, probably just taking their lunch break. I do get uncomfortable when people watch me doing my antics, but the other part of me loves it too. I'm making someone smile. They think I'm silly, and I really am. I did super sexy poses in booty shorts all over my car and had a blast. Paul took better pictures than even I would have been able to do with a tripod. Back off, ladies, he is claimed. Then we went back home and I let my phone charge while I decorated the back of my car. My reference was Chappell Roan's casual cover, and that led me down the Pinterest boho car interior rabbit hole. Everyone does such cute stuff to their car, then I want to do all the things too. But also, realistically, Pinterest aesthetics like that are just things to spend money on, and you'll probably throw away most of the stuff within 2 years. And no one calling themselves a hippie should have an Amazon list for their stuff. Some of the stuff is super cute nonetheless. After having about 3 hours of indecision, I finally got a vision in mind that checked all of my boxes. It was like the outfit. I have so many aesthetics to blend together, and it takes some creative mulling over. For my outfit, I was going for a sexy car girl with night energy to match my car, and some way to also complement the car's colors. I used my skin and my orange eyeshadow to accomplish that. For the backseat decorations, I wanted a glowing night vibe under a streetlight with orange and blue reversed from the reference photo. And honestly, I think I fucking nailed it. We got a frozen drink at the gas station, then parked under a streetlight, and zip zap zop, now I've got a photo drop. Seriously, I have so many good pictures. I have no idea which one will make it as the thumbnail. I want half of them too. I still need to come up with a title. That will make the thumbnail choice easier, but that was my full day. And now I have my studio back. Just a shitload of cleaning to do now that it's freed up again. That's for next week though. Louise out. January 15th. I finally broke my barrier! I made my first contact in my art promotion push. I went to a local drink and paint place and talked to the owner about art opportunities and part-time work there. It's a crack in the door! I feel like I can do anything! I just talked confidently to a stranger, and my social skills need some practice. But I still accomplished a conversation. I can make this happen. I can force my art career into being. I'm still very unclear on what other networking work I can do, but I have my books and research to reference for idea gathering. I'm also still very unsure what my video content is right now. I'm slacking at writing journals, but I do want to keep these going and improve on them. I need to come up with a title for my car painting video, something that resonates with my brand. My mind is all over the place right now. Talking to people is really good. It energizes me, even though it drains me too. We aren't meant to be so isolated. While I was out, I saw 2 bus drivers stop at the same red light, and they did a small little street race when it turned green. Mostly the race was in their waving arm motions, not their driving. It was really cute. Reminds me why I need to leave the house. The world doesn't care about you. It goes on, and it's so silly sometimes. That's basically my favorite part of being a person. Seeing other strangers do goofy things spontaneously. You can't break the human spirit. Very scattered mind. Louise out. January 16th. It's been a contemplative day. I've been ruminating a lot on how I'm not supporting myself and my goals. I've been skipping gym days, getting high too early in the day, I'm too wary to leave the house, and I'm dragging this car project out. I go to bed late, and I take a skin pill that seems to be shooting my sleep in the foot repeatedly, and then I expect myself to get up to an alarm and face a hard day. That's my weakest point. Me versus my alarm is the true nemesis fight of my life. My alarm, of course, compounds many issues into that single action: insomnia, chronic obligation skipping, depression, fear of failure, all that jazz. And it boils down to beep, 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 anytime. 5 a.m., 8 a.m., 11 a.m., literally 2 p.m. So yeah, lots of ruminating on how I can better expect myself to just suddenly tackle this overnight. That's all for today. Louise out. January 17th. Today's been a bit of a connect the dots one for me personally. Talk is cheap. I know I mean more than my talk, but without the actions to show for it too, that's really all it is. Still just talk. I think maybe if I only learn one thing all year, it would be worthwhile to learn very deeply, over and over, how infinitely cheap all that talk is. Worthless, really. And if I want it to be more than talk, I have to, actually do the damn things. Shocker! I'm being hard on myself. I'm doing a lot of the things, but I'm doing the easy things. And I want better from myself right now. Aside from revelations, I spent my day with my Oregon friend, and we had Cane's and Old Spaghetti Factory, and are currently mid-Arcane binge. We just watched episode 3, and I've already seen it, but I cried a little. This show is so good! The emotional impact is sharp, and the visuals, stunning. I'm also shocked at how effortless and important the dialogue is. If you haven't seen it, go see it. You'll be a better person. And now I'm back to it, so that's it for today. Louise out. January 18th. Today, in contrast to yesterday, has been a very extreme, no thought, just vibe day. My friend and I ate a bunch of food and watched a bunch of Arcane, and we're cooking more food and are about to watch a movie. We've been weeding, we've been drinking, I've been playing with her cat, and she's been trashing me at card games. It's been a fun time. Louise out. January 19th. I drove back home today after lunch. My brand new to me car has an engine light on, and I stupidly decided to drive it anyway, but it was fine. It really struggles uphill. I've learned to merge to the slow lane every incline. But when I got home, I had the guts to use my little Amazon bot code reader. I tried over and over again to diagnose my car through their dinky little app, and it just kept closing out and failing to do anything. So I agreed to do a 3-day free trial of their app subscription, and all of a sudden, it could diagnose my car. After 3 days, I would be charged $7 a week to be able to use this app so that I can use the product that I already bought. It's all capitalism, baby. Anyway. It turns out it's cylinder misfires, which is an approachable issue. And that's the only issue. I was terrified that it would be several variously expensive things, but I do still have several things to do on it. I'm almost positive that these tires are the ones that came with the car originally in 2015, and they're in incredibly rough shape. I also need to fiddle with the door and handle connections again because my car is currently auto-unlocking every time I lock it. Super great. And my battery is definitely on its last leg. But I'm glad these are all reasonable repairs, except for tires. Tires suck. But anyway, I made it home with myself and my car in one piece. I've been working on updating lighting now in my studio and listening to the last of Fourth Wing. But in the back of my mind all day has been a swelling, pulsing, sad ache. I miss my job. I feel so stupid for getting myself fired from a comfortable gig. Job hunting sucks so bad. I always counter my sad thoughts to try to bring my own attention to the good things. I would have fought with Toenail more. It drained me to do less than my best in my work. I could barely afford the amount the business was closed. I have my own car now, and I can work a job I like more. My husband has a higher paying job now, so I can accept less pay if needed. There are good things, but I miss my job. And in that ache, underneath the job, I miss my friend. I only want to comment broadly here, as I'm really worried about breaching privacy. In October, I declared a friendship break after months without communication, and she responded after Christmas with a detailed reply. But her reply was to an issue I thought was in the past, but for her had been open the whole year. We had a fight about how I handled leaving their old friend group in New Year's of 2023-24. We both had miscommunications in the texts the days after I did that, and she insisted on going over it. I made a fucking Word document of what our texts were and what I didn't say but thought. She wanted to see where our communication failed, and I didn't know how else to do that. We are both very text analysis, literal communication kinds of people. I sent that over all within a week of the event, not to drag this explanation out too much further, but she didn't reply to that, and over days, weeks, months, I moved on. I thought she had too. We talked about other things. We didn't talk much. Distance built, tensions grew, and after months of reaching out with no response, I got to the point of declaring a friendship break to protect my own heart from breaking repeatedly over the abandonment that I didn't understand. She spent a lot of her year going over that document. She sent her reply the day after Christmas. I was blindsided. I refused to go into the contents of the document. It's so convoluted and sticky and personal and hard to explain. But I hurt her too. I understand that now. I used harsh words for harsh sentiments, and she was not without her own share of pain from the last year. And my deep ache in my chest is from the real possibility that this fight matters enough to break this friendship. It's not one thing, it's a lot of things. I'm unhappy with her a lot of the time, even when we aren't fighting. But she's my longest friend, and I love her dearly. And I don't know if we can both get over this. I think we could move past it, sure, but I don't know what a friendship looks like after the resolution. I can try to tamp down my pain and listen to my wisdom. I can reach out with nothing but apology and understanding and try to avoid where I disagree. I care where I disagree. It does matter to me, but it doesn't matter to me more than she does. I'm very scared, though. I didn't want to rehash the argument initially. I don't think I get to decide when we're done rehashing this. I think the details still deeply matter to her, and if we can't concede on them, then we can't go forward. This is all speculative and anxiety-driven. There's a voice that's louder than I want it to be, telling me to be toxic, to not reply for a year, if at all, to reply with all of my disagreements and points of argument. I've got good points. I could do it. I won't be listening to that voice. But it does echo into the knowledge that I'm still very deeply hurt. And I don't know what resolution I can try for when I'm this injured. This whole thing is so fucking dumb. And if I lose my friend over it, it will be one of the deepest tragedies of my life. I reached out to my Oregon friend for solace, but she didn't lessen my fears. She doesn't see how we can understand each other without going into it. And that's why I never fought with Toenail. There's so much pride and hurt that going into it will be bloodshed. I'm scared and hurting. Louise out. Louise in. Paul helped reassure me, and we hung out all evening. Louise.